Good morning, boys and girls. I'd like to share with you one of my most favorite stories. Um, it's called Miss Rumphius, and the story and pictures are written by Barbara Cooney. And I'd like to pay special attention to the writing of Barbara Cooney. She uses some really neat strategies to tell us about the life of Miss Rumphius. And the flowers here are called lupines, and Miss Rumphius is known as the lupine lady, so we're about to find out why. The lupine lady lives in a small house overlooking the sea. In between the rocks around her house grow blue and purple and rose-colored flowers. The lupine lady is little and old, but she has not always been that way. I know. She is my great aunt, and she told me so. So the first thing we learn from our author is that the niece of Miss Rumphius is telling the story. So she heard stories from her aunt, and she's decided to share them with all of us. Once upon a time, she was a little girl named Alice. So Miss Rumphius' first name was Alice, who lived in a city by the sea. From the front stoop, she could see the wharves and the bristling mast of tall ships. Many years ago, her grandfather had come to America on a large sailing ship. So her grandfather was the first generation of immigrants into the United States, which tells us that Alice Rumphius was born here by the sea. Now, he worked in the shop at the bottom of the house, making figureheads for the prows of ships and carving Indians out of wood to put in front of cigar stores. For Alice's grandfather was an artist. He painted pictures, too, of sailing ships and places across the sea. When he was very busy, Alice helped him put in the skies. So what's happened here is we find that the story opens up with the niece telling us that her aunt now lives by the sea and is an old lady, but she's flashing back and telling us the story from the very beginning of the life of Alice Rumphius. So we find out that, she helped her dad in his job when she was very young, and that her father was an artist. But the illustrator also shows us Alice here, and we see her painting, so we can make the inference that Alice was also an artist. In the evening, Alice sat on her grandfather's knee and listened to his stories of faraway places. When he had finished, Alice would say, "When I grow up, I too will go to faraway places. And when I grow old, I too will live by the sea." "That is all very well, little Alice," said her grandfather, "but there is a third thing that you must do." "What is that?" asked Alice. "You must do something to make the world more beautiful," said her grandfather. "All right," said Alice, but she did not know what that could be. In the meantime, Alice got up and washed her face and ate porridge for breakfast. She went to school and came home and did her homework. And pretty soon, she was grown up. So look what Barbara Cooney did there. She showed us Alice's childhood life in what's called a flashback. We heard a conversation between Alice and her grandfather that's not taking place in the present, but instead took place a long time ago when Alice was little. But it sets us up to understand how Alice lives her life. And I can make a prediction that that's what we're about to find out next. Remember, she has goals. She wants to go to faraway places. She wants to live by the sea. And her grandfather encouraged her also to do something that makes the world more beautiful. So we're going to continue on and see how she does that.